2 weeks ago. Yeah, but that's when I got started on that book, and then I saw the message. I was like, oh yeah, okay, let me finish this. And then that's what happens. Get busy. All right. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. So we're on chapter 119, Bab al-Khuruji ila Day'ah. Alright, al-Day'ah here means al-Mazra. Al-Mazra. There are different opinions about what the word Day'ah here means. Al-Day'ah could mean Mazra, or a place where you go to make your money. A place where you go to, get together stuff to make money. But here it means to go to the Mazra. Alright. So this is hadith number 236. Y'all want some juice? Minute Maid. You got one? You got some? Alright, so حدثنا معاذ بن فضالة قال حدثنا هشام الدستوائي عن يحيى بن أبي كثير عن أبي سلمة قال أتيت أبا سعيد الخضري رضي الله عنه وكان لي صديقا فقلت ألا تخرج بنا إلى النخل فخرج وعليه خميصة له. So this hadith is reported on the authority of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. Well, it's actually reported by Abi Salama. He's the one that said that, that Abu Sa'id al-Khudri was a friend of his. فقلت, and so he asked Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, ألا تخرج بنا إلى النخل, will you not go with us to the date orchards, I guess you would call them, right? The date farms, where they grow, where they have the date palms. فخرج وعليه خميصة له, and he left and he had a khamisah. And what is a khamisah? We took this in al-Bukhari. We took it in Kitab al-Hayd, because there was a narration where Salama was wearing a khamisah. I believe it was Salama. I have to go back and check that. Huh?
Something that has to do with the thobe.
It's a black or red garment. Black or red garment. Alright, so here obviously, because, for the man, it's generally going to be black. For the woman, it could be black or red. So here he went out in a black type of thobe. Which shows that, even the Sahaba, they would prefer to wear white, obviously, because what? That's what the Prophet ﷺ encouraged the people to wear. But here you see he goes out even in different colors. And even the Prophet ﷺ himself wore different colored thobes from Yemen. Alright, but the shahid here is that they went out to the Nakhl, to the Mazra. And what do we talk about? What's the point of him putting this hadith in Al-Adab al-Mufrad? We talked about this yesterday. What do you guys go and go back and reset your minds to factory settings after every class when we go home, or what?
Was it about somebody that's the leader they're going to the market?
But what do we talk about? What's the purpose of this? Why is it here?
Humility?
Yeah, because it goes against the customs of Jahiliyyah. The people that had status and they were tribal, they're Qurayshi, they're from a big tribe, they don't go out and they're not farmers. They're not, they don't do these types of things. Because they were more involved in warfare and control and judging and controlling the people. And so all the other stuff of the farming and the selling the vegetables and fruits and all this was for the common man, So here, because obviously these are from the Sahaba, and they have strong lineage from strong tribes, and they're the best of all creation after the prophets. Alright? So, and here they are, they go out to, the farms, they collect fruits, they collect vegetables, they sell things in the marketplace, and there's no aib, so this shows that, again, where they went against the customs of what? Of Jahiliyyah. But again, you see the people now, what do? They keep going back and reverting back to the customs of Jahiliyyah. And now you get people now from amongst the Muslims, they're too good to pick fruits and vegetables. They're too good to get their hands dirty with work. They're too good to do these types of things. And of course, in the Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned that. He said, "Well, khayru mal what? Ibn Adam ma kasaba bi'ish biyadi." What he earned with what? With his own hands. This is the best of all the wealth that a person has. Is the wealth that he earns with what? With his own hands. What he works with his own hands. So, and even the Prophet ﷺ said, he said, about the person that, the person that goes out and begs. He said, خَيْرٌ لَهُ أَنْ يَأْخُذَ الْحَبْلَهُ وَيَحْتَطِبْ. He should take like his rope and go out and collect firewood and sell the firewood in the souk. خَيْرٌ لَهُ مِنْ أَنْ يَسْأَلَ النَّاسِ أَعْطَاهُ أَوْ مَنَعُوهُ. It's better for him to go out and sell firewood that he cuts down. He goes out and cuts down trees and sells and bundles the wood up, because they used to bundle the wood up with a rope, like with a hubble, carry the hubble to the souk and sell that wood. Is better for him than to go and ask the people, أَعْطَاهُ أَوْ مَنَعُوهُ, whether they gave it to him or whether they refused. This is better for him, that he goes out and he works with his own hands. So there's no aib and there's no shame in this way. It's sour as on. Huh? Give me one. Let me try. Everybody's juicing it up. Huh? Gotta shake it. You didn't shake it. No. It's Minute Maid, man. Oh, so maybe that's why the taste got to you. Why? Because you were expecting that carbonated taste? I think it is carbonated. Oh, it's not. Tastes like Minute Maid apple. Tastes like I'm in third grade again. And that's what you used to have, like with the little box lunches. All right. So that's what that shows. And like I said, we spoke about that yesterday. So, hadith number 237. حدثنا محمد بن سلام قال أخبرنا محمد بن الفضيل. And by the way, the previous hadith is in Bukhari and Muslim. متفق عليه. أخبرنا محمد بن الفضيل ابن غزوان and مغيرة ابن الشعبة and أم موسى مجهولة مش ليس مجهولة حال ولكن مجهولة بالنسبة للرواية. Alright, she only narrates from one person. That's it. Alright, so the hadith itself, the hadith is authentic, but not this chain of narration. Not this chain of narration. قالت سمعت عليا رضي الله عنه يقول أمر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم عبد الله بن مسعود رضي الله عنه أن يصعد شجرة. So this is, he heard that Ali is going to be telling the story. He said that the Prophet ﷺ commanded Abdullah ibn Mas'ud to climb up a tree. فَيَأْتِيَهُ مِنْهَا. To go up the tree and grab some fruits and bring the fruits down to the Prophet ﷺ. فَنَظَرَ أَصْحَابَهُ. So he's climbing up the tree, and the other companions, they're like sitting on the ground. And they're looking up at his فنظر فنظر أصحابه إلى ساق عبد الله فضحكوا من حموشة ساقيه. So they said that his companions on the ground, they were looking up at Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, they were looking up at his saqayn, which is his shins, and how skinny they were, because he's like very, very thin. And then they started to laugh. فضحكوا. They laughed at من حموشة ساقيه. حموشة means دقة, like how thin and weak looking his legs were. So of course the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he sees this, right? فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ما تضحكون? Why are y'all laughing? لرجل عبد الله أثقل في الميزان من أحد. And then he said that the leg of Abdullah is heavier in the scales than Mount Uhud. So you guys keep laughing. Why are y'all laughing? Because obviously Abdullah ibn Mas'ud is from the ulama of the Sahaba, from the mufassirin of the Sahaba, from the muhaddithin, from the muqtirin al-hadith min the Sahaba. So there's nothing to laugh about just because of his build. But you see the reward that he has on the day of judgment, that even his leg, one of his legs in the scale, is heavier than Mount Uhud because of all the khair that he did with that leg. And all the khair, like all the walking the khair, all the fighting, and defending the deen, with that leg. And that's just his leg. That's just one leg. So, imagine, subhanAllah, all the khair that he's put forth. If that's just what he gets, that's the reward that he gets with one leg. Then imagine, what he gets for all the other parts of his body that he used in the obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So no doubt, and like I said, this hadith is, the asl of it is in the Musnad of Imam Ahmad, and the hadith is sahih. Alright, this chain of narration is not, this will be sahih, لغيره. Alright, لغيره, because the other narration is authentic, and it's yashhad lahu. Yashhad lahu. So we see the beauty of like the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's what, because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned, يأتي يوم القيامة رجل سمين وإيش ثقيل سمين, and he gets put in the scale, and what happens? لا يزن عند الله يعني جناح بعوضة.
This is the hadith. I think that's the very next hadith.
Oh, it is. Look up the wording of it, because I got it wrong on the first part. رجل عظيم سمين.
75.
Read it.
عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه عن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إنه لا يأتي الرجل العظيم السمين يوم القيامة لا يزن عند الله جناح بعوضة.
Alright, so there you go. So, يأتي رجل يوم القيامة عظيم سمين. Alright, لا يزن عند الله جناح بعوضة. He doesn't even have the weight. He's very big, and he's very, very heavy, but when he gets put in the scale, what? He doesn't even like pan out to the weight of the wing of a mosquito. Because all that he had, he never used it in the obedience to Allah. The thing that goes on the scales on the day of judgment is your obedience, not anything else, not your money, not your wealth, not your your strength, your body size, and none of this stuff is going to matter on the day of judgment. The only thing that's going to matter is your obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's what's going to be heavy on the scales. So you can come with, a very skinny person that people used to laugh at. Like you said, he laughed, they're laughing at how skinny he was. But they wish that they could have the leg of Abdullah bin Mas'ud on the day of judgment, especially after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that to them. I bet you they wish they were like, man, we want his leg. SubhanAllah. They're not going to be laughing again, And of course, that's what Allah raises the people up with obedience and rewards them with it on the day of judgment. Allah musta'an. Any questions? You're not paying attention, huh?
No.
You got the phone? Where is it?
No. I wasn't even looking at it.
That's what I'm saying. You're not paying attention.
No, I wasn't looking at the phone.
Oh, yeah.
Questions or no?
Yeah, it's you.
Well, first question of the day. Mir Samir Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen says, if one
telling you, there's some favoritism.
No, it's actually, look here, before you say I'm
cronyism,
look.
Cherry picking.
Here's the dalil.
Huh?
The dalil is right there. So.
How do we know that you didn't delete
Oh,
all
come
the
on.
other comments just so this is the first one that comes up? We don't know.
It would have shown.
Huh?
It would have shown on the live stream that message was deleted.
Oh,
Yeah, it would have said message retracted by Ilm Stu admin, something like that.
All right. Go ahead.
If one knows the majority of ahkam al-zawaj wa talaq wa nikah, is it permissible for them to get married in this state and continue studying after they get married?
I mean, you just need to know the things to avoid doing something haram. You don't need to know every single ikhtilaf and every fine detail, and nobody's expecting you to. But you need to know enough to understand that, like, khalas, the basics, the ABCs, to make sure that you're not falling into anything haram. And nobody's expecting you to go read through all these books of the ulama from before and collect all the ikhtilaf and, and know all the masail up, down, left, and right. No. Know the basics, get the basics. You can find those basics in Bulugh Maram, and, it's easy, inshallah.
Questioner named NK says, if a woman is...
No, I thought you were pointing at something.
If a woman is pure but her husband has gone unto her and divorced her after, what is the correct opinion on if the divorce is valid? Is there any evidence to support it?
Again,
If a woman is pure but her husband has gone unto her and divorced her after, what is the correct opinion on the divorce? Is it valid? And is there any evidence to support it?
That's and ikhtilaf as far as that's concerned. But he's, once she goes into the state of divorce, like a menstruation, he has the intentions of divorcing her, because you can't. It's not permissible for you to divorce her while she's menstruating. You have to wait until after her menstruation is finished, then you divorce her. All right, because of the issue that happened with Abdullah ibn Omar, which we're going to go over in Bulugh al-Maram, inshallah. So no, he's got to divorce her without going to her. Can't go and wait for her to finish her menstruation, and then go enjoy himself with her, and then divorce her. No, that's evil, and that's not permissible. And he's an atham. And then the divorce is the divorce, but he needs to fear Allah and make tawbah from that. You wait for the hayd, and you divorce the woman after once her menstruation is complete, you divorce her. Now her waiting period starts. But you can't go and have sexual relationships with a sexual relation and then say, okay, well, go ahead and start your period. Start your waiting period. No, because now she has to wait for another, and then, no, that's, he needs to fear Allah with that stuff. It's not permissible what he did. Well, the divorce is the divorce. Khalas, he's done. He divorced her. So he divorced her when he authority has, so khalas.
The same question, it says, if a man divorces his wife while she can't pray, what is the correct opinion?
What do you mean why she can't pray? She's in the state of menstruation, you wait till she's done menstruating and he divorces her.
Maybe she's like,
I'm assuming that's what he means, that she's menstruating. You wait till she's finished with the menstruation, then you divorce her.
Where she's going doing the fast.
He has to wait until she stops bleeding from that.
I mean, he could divorce her while she's pregnant.
After she
Yeah.
gives the baby.
Yeah. Because once she gives the baby, with the baby it's different, because once she has the baby, it's her waiting period's over. So if he plans to divorce her, and if she's pregnant, you might as well divorce her. Let her know now, so she can go ahead and start making plans after she has the baby. Because once she has the baby, her waiting period's done. It's over. It's finished. Now she can go get married. So now if he waits until after she has the baby, then he like, okay, well, let me go ahead and just get, one last, let's go for one last ride before I let you go. No, that's evil. It's evil. And a person needs to fear Allah. Don't play games with the woman. You don't want her, divorce her. Let her move on with her life. Khalas. You're not trying to punish her. You're not trying to hold her and trying to terrorize her and torture her. You don't want her. You can't get along, divorce her. Divorce her in a state that is permissible for you to divorce her. It's not to sit here and play games with the women. Let her go.
Abu Nusayba says, how many minor signs of the hour are left, and are we living in the end?
Allah knows. Only Allah knows that. That's not knowledge of anybody.
Questioner, Muslimin, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, says, if a woman is traveling alone with one of her mahrams, is it okay if they stay in the same room or sleep on two separate beds if there's no fear of fitna?
Yeah, as long as she dresses appropriately and he dresses appropriately. He's not walking around in his boxer shorts and she's not walking around in short shorts, and she covers herself and he covers himself. Khalas. And there's no fear of fitna. Make sure take your clothes and get dressed in the bathroom. Don't come out with a towel around your waist. Well, obviously it's better, because of just the way that women are. Especially, it's better that she has her own room and he has his own room. As women, they have these rituals, when they take a shower, and so it's better for her to have her privacy. Allah knows best. If it's possible. If not, then they just need to control the fitna as much as possible.
I want to say that says how to overcome one's. You answered this question. It's a repeated question.
So why are you asking?
I didn't know. I was. The more I was reading, the more I realized it. But you've answered it. So, next question. Is it permissible to go on a random stranger cam website to give da'wah to non-Muslims as well as Muslims?
No.
I don't even know what that is. Abdul Malik says no.
When you go, it's like a website where you can talk to strangers online. Can you give da'wah to them?
Yeah, he give dawah the way that the Anbiya gave dawah. Go out to the people, call them to Islam. And the best way that the Muslims can start giving dawah is to start practicing the deen in the first place. Start getting knowledge, start practicing the deen, and start teaching the Muslims, and that's going to be the first way that we can give dawah. What are you going to sit here and do? Sit here and, call the people, like, let's get outside and let's go online and call the people to what? So they go to the masjid and then see all types of chaos? Right now, we need to be busy fixing our situation at home, getting our home in order, all our homes in order first. So when the people come to the masjid, they're coming and they're actually seeing Islam. At least, to the best of our capabilities. Like, we're actually putting in the effort to establish, like, real deen. But, like, that type of stuff, nah, man. Just give dawah the way the Anbiya gave dawah. Hello.
Said mal hukum. What's the hukum?
Stay away from it.
Haram, halal,
Huh.
juz, la yajuz.
Because I don't know these types of things, akhi. I don't know what this is. And I don't know what he'll face and what he might come across.
It's not how it's ever been done. It's not acceptable.
I'm just telling you the best guidance is the guidance of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Do the things the way he did it, and the way that the people that follow him do it. Hello. As far as that type of website, I don't know it. I've never been in that stuff. I don't know. I don't know what type of fitna he might come across.
It's evil. There's even people that are naked in there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. So you stay away from this.
And they show their private parts, men and women. Well, majority men, but women too.
It should be on somebody else's form anyway. It's not something that's from us, by us, and for us. We shouldn't be on it anyway.
Fubu.
Yeah. Should not be on it. Whatever
You don't know Fubu?
Whatever commercials they're going to run, whatever
No.
products those people connected to.
You don't know
whatever
Fubu,
commercials,
man.
We shouldn't be involved in it at all.
Hey, don't look at them. They're too young. Maybe you know Fubu. That's a type of clothing in the 90s, man. Fubu is like for us, by us. Yeah, that's what he's saying. He said it's not for us, it's not by us, and
That's
even.
Damien, y'all know the guy from Sharks. The Damien, the designer. That was his brand, for us, by us.
Hmm? No?
I seen it in the movie though. This kid had fake food with jersey and everything.
This one?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's funny.
Yeah, he was a designer that started designing, putting stuff in the market designed by African Americans for African Americans, because they was buying Gucci and Versace and all these other brands, and no brands was from us by us.
Hmm.
So he created a brand for us by us. And we should not be on anybody else's form, because whatever they promote, whatever they endorse, whoever sponsors them, whatever commercials they're gonna run, we should not have anything to do with other people's forms at all.
Except for YouTube. Well, that's a need.
That's an engine, that's
Yeah.
a document, that's
Yeah.
not
Yeah, that's not a form,
a,
yeah.
we create the forms.
Yeah.
That's still within our hands.
Yeah, we got our own channel. So, yeah. What else?
Kleenex says, what advice would you give to yourself when you were 17? If you're 17 even accept advice?
I wouldn't give advice to nothing, because everything that I did at the age of 17 led to what I ended up doing at 21, 22, and led me going to Yemen. So if I didn't do what I did at 17 and do the stupidity that I did, I might not have ended up with doing the khair that Allah gave me the tawfiq to do. I wouldn't change anything.
Same Kleenex.
Hmm?
The questioner.
Huh?
Talking to no. He's talking, not me.
Yeah, I know. He said a Kleenex, right?
Yeah, Kleenex.
Yeah.
I think it's chicken fingers in disguise. But questioner named Muslimin Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen says one of the
All right,
cultures-
Sharia. Go ahead.
And one of the cultures of a man is named Abd. And one of the names of Allah, an example, Abdul Rahman. Then, like, is it permissible to say Abdi for short?
No, Abdu. You can say Abduhu, but you can't say Abdi. Type of. Now that I know that's a custom amongst the Somalis, But it's in Arabic. You shouldn't be saying that. And of course, that's not what they mean. But I mean, it's just a custom of how they call each other, Abdi, Abdi. But it's if you're gonna call a person that, that's why you see the Yemenis, they say Ya Abda. Or, Abdahu. What?
Abdu.
Ya Abdu. I said Ya Abda because that's the correct nahu. I was implementing correct nahu. The Yemenis do not implement the correct nahu. They say Ya Abdu. But that's not correct because it's nida. And nida is mudaf ilayh. The first part has to be mansub. Barakallahu fi.
Omar says, how do we nurture children in Quran and Sunnah, especially if their parents are not people who practice Islam?
If you're not practicing, you can't teach anything.
Well, you can't teach it, but what he's saying is like, how can the kids? The only other way is what I'm saying is like, if we had the environment of that in the masjid, it would still be a motivation, even if the parents, But the thing is if the kids are not getting the motivation of memorizing the Quran in the house, then they go to the masjid, and what are they getting? They're finding about the new rappers in the masjid, finding about the new movies on Netflix in the masjid, finding about the new, the new Jordans or new whatever in the masjid, the new Tesla truck or whatever in the masjid, finding about all this stuff in the masjid. They're not, So if that's the case, you're right. Where is the kid going to get the motivation to do? So either one, he's going to get it from his home, or two, he's going to get it from the masjid. So either one of those two, the environment has to be set up. If that environment doesn't exist, then the only thing that he can do is have the self-discipline to create that environment around himself by being, taking on friends that are trying to memorize the Quran and focusing on just listening to the Quran all the time and just setting that environment up around himself. Otherwise, what is he going to do?
Which is actually, it's a final question. It's a very simple question. It says, regarding the qaylula, is it before or after dhuhr?
It's before. At the waqt al-hajir. That's the hardest part of the day. They always used to take a nap at the hardest part of the day. And that's before dhuhr. That's qabla zawal. The zawal is when, what?
No, I'm makes it.
No, I want you to answer.
Zawal.
He's always, I know. Let them answer.
I do know
So I like to hit him with something like, that I know is like he's gonna have to, let's see,
Zawal is like, what is it? بعد وقوف الشمس.
بعد وقوف الشمس.
Zawal.
بعد وقوف.
No. I forgot.
What you say?
No, you laughing.
Oh, the zawal is when it's zala and the makan. So once it hits the zenith, that's the hajir. That's the hajira. That's the hottest part of the day. And then once it goes down, it's going down towards the west because it comes up from the east until it gets up to like the sahna sama, to the middle of the sama. And that's the highest part. That's the hajira. And once it makes that now it's going to go towards the west. And once it makes that drop, that's the zawal. That's the time for dhuhr. You said ba'da wukuf al-shams, akhi.
Yeah, I know.
It never wukuf. There's no stopping. The sun never stops.
No, ba'd wukuf.
It gets up. It goes up east, and then it gets up to the top, and then it makes it western.
I've read Fatawa Sheikh Muqbil where he says it's not لا يجوز الصلاة في وقت وقوف الشمس.
Had.
Well, okay. Because I did see it last week when I went.
It's and
Sheikh bin Baz too.
It's not that it never stops, but what it does is it goes and moves in that place for about 15, 20. Because the waqt al-hajira is about between 15 and 30 minutes. That's when they used to take the qaylula.
It has to hold its position. It doesn't stop, but it's assigned that position.
Yeah.
So it has to meet that. It has to meet that point.
See, look.
That doesn't mean it stops.
لا يجوز.
Hold on. Listen, go ahead.
There, look. This is the one because this is the first one that popped
up.
Watch,
I'm gonna get
this is the first one that popped up. Now I'm running away from it.
Go.
Sheikh bin Baz's website. لا يجوز للمسلم أن يصلي قبل الظهر في وقت وقوف الشمس.
All right, now go find from the Salaf that said وقوف الشمس.
I don't know. I'm just telling you what I read. I'm just telling you what I read.
So we follow the Salaf, right?
I mean, maybe he got it from the Salaf.
Okay, maybe, maybe not. So find somebody from the Salaf that says Wukuf al-Shams.
That's gonna take. Cause I'm just telling you, it was a quick Q&A that I looked up for. You know.
I understand. And
I was just curious, so I just looked it up.
I'm pretty sure that you were going to find it, but still. Now I'll go back to the people who spoke the Lugha, where what they say in the language of the Arabic language is what? Is evidence, not from a person.
I know. Because earlier you were making fun
As
of
much
me
as I
for saying
respect
Wukuf
Sheikh Mubaz, Allah yarhamu, but he's not evidence in the Arabic language.
I know. But when you guys were making fun of me for Wukuf al-Shams, you know where I got it from. I got it from Kibar al-Ulama. I didn't get it from my own self.
All right. All right, so Sharia, inshallah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. قال الإمام الآجوري رحمه الله ما اسمه Mr. Part 1 what's the name of الآجوري Abu Bakr Muhammad ibn Hussein ibn Man. Come on, just one more name without looking, cheater. Muhammad ibn Hussein ibn Abdullah al-Ajuri. All right. No, save that for later, man. Oh, you're reading the questions or you're looking for this? No, that's your homework. You can bring that tomorrow, inshallah.
If I remember.
All right, so we stopped on chapter 2. باب ذكر أمر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أمته بلزوم الجماعة وتحذيره إياهم الفرقة. All right. So this is what the mentioning, the mentioning of the command of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam for his ummah to stay with the jama'ah. Because if you remember the last class, he brought all the different ayat, and then he said وَإِذَا فَإِنْ قَالَ قَائِلٌ أُذْكُرْ لَنَا مِنْ سُنَنِ الرَّسُولِ. So he said, now if you can mention to us from the sunnah of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to show the lazum al-jama'ah, and that's what he's doing now. And he said وَتَحْذِيرَهُ, and his warning إِيَّاهُمْ, he's warning them against al-furqa, to avoid and stay away from differing and going off and splintering off into groups. All right, so number 5. All right, you there? Everybody there? حدثنا أبو محمد عبد الله ابن العباس الطيالسي قال حدثنا سعيد ابن يحيى الأموي. You want Abdul Malik? You can come over. He's got the English version over here. He's got part 1 of it. That's it.
Can't find any of the volumes. I can't find any.
Just download it as a PDF and go and print it.
I can only find the volume 1 PDF.
Well, look.
Yeah.
Well, I'll try to find it, inshallah. Let's see if we can find it. Maybe that's all they did. Maybe they never printed volume 2.
That's what I was thinking.
They got lazy and said, this is too much work, I'm done. All right. قال حدثنا أبو بكر بن عياش عن عاصم عن زر بن حبيش عن عمر بن الخطاب رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من أراد بحبوحة الجنة بحبوحة الجنة فليلزم الجماعة فإن الشيطان مع الواحد وهو من الاثنين أبعد. All right, this is like a piece of a hadith from Sunan al-Tirmidhi, but this is the narration that he has. What I'm going to do, inshallah, is I'm going to read the entire hadith, because the entire hadith has a lot of benefit. What he did is he basically took that piece of the hadith that's specifically dealing with the issue. But the hadith in its entirety are things that we all need to know, the issues that we all face. So the hadith with the chain of narration, and Umar ibn al-Khattab radhiyallahu anhu qala قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أوصيكم بأصحابي. He said that I command you to what? To follow my companions. And he's talking about this. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم giving this wasiyah after what? After his death. So after his death that you what? You go to my companions and you get the understanding of this religion from my companions. He said أوصيكم بأصحابي ثم الذين يلونهم, and then those that come after them, which are who? The tabi'un. ثُمَّ الَّذِينَ يَلُونَهُمْ. And he said, and then those that come after them, which are the Atba'u Tabi'in. These are the first three generations, Al-Qurun Al-Mufaddala, which these are the Salaf. When we talk about that we follow the Salaf, it means these three generations. So when you say that you're Salafi, that means that you what? You follow these. Yeah, this is where you get your understanding from the deen from. If the understanding doesn't come from these three generations, we have nothing to do with it. We have nothing to do with it. Alright, he said what? ثُمَّ يَفْشُ الْكَذِبِ. He said, then after that third generation, then lying will start to spread. It will start to spread amongst the people. Because the people will start to lie on the Prophet, lie about the deen, and make up things, and lie about the understanding, and twist the words of Allah. So this is where the lying starts to spread. حَتَّى يَحْلِفَ الرَّجُلُ وَلَا يُسْتَحْلَفُ. Until a person will, like yahlif, he'll swear by Allah, but it wasn't sought from him to swear by Allah. You see these liars. You go to buy a car from him, and you just ask him. You ask him, a Muslim. Now, obviously, we're not dealing with the kuffar, but the Muslim guy that sells you the Mr. Bean car, and you go to him and you say, how's this car? Is it good? Wallahi, akhi, wallahi, it's a good car. Wallahi, it's just the best. There's no problems. Wallahi, look, akhi, all I did is ask you what? How's the car? But he begins to do what? To like yahlif, yahlif, yahlif. Wala yustahlif. And it wasn't sought from him. I didn't ask him, swear by Allah that this car is good. I didn't ask him to do that. But he feels that the only way that he can sell something is through what? Yeah, through trickery and deceit and using Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's name to earn your trust, to get you to buy the Mr. Bean car, and then it breaks down on you. Allah musta'an. Why are you laughing? He knows.
Then he won't fix it.
And then he won't fix it, nor will he return your money.
And he demands whatever's due him.
And then when you go back to him and tell him that you're cheating me, like, wallahi, I'm not cheating you. Wallahi, I know. Wallahi, you're wrong, akhi. Then he starts swearing by Allah that you're the zalim and he's the oppressed, and
You gotta honor your word and hold to your commitment.
Yeah. But I mean, this is just an example. Just an example, Just an example. I know it's a lot of detail, but just an example. Just an example. You're lost, aren't you? Huh? Just an example. Alright, so he said after that, وَلَا يُسْتَحْلَفْ وَيَشْهَدُ الشَّاهِدْ وَلَا يُسْتَشْهَدْ. And the person will come and bear witness that he saw something or he witnessed something, but it was not sought from him. It was not sought from him. And this, obviously the person who bears witness and without it being sought from him, what is this? This is a type of tazkiyat al-nafs. Which is tazkiyat al-nafs, it means like self-promotion. Like, I saw it, you should take my word for it. If the people thought that you were somebody that was trustworthy, then they'll go to you and ask you, like, what did you see? But he goes and he gives his shahada without it even being sought from him. And let the people know, I saw this and I saw this. Nobody asks you for that. Wait till it's asked, in a court, in a legal setting, and then you give your testimony. But you don't give the testimony if nobody asks for it. Keep your mouth shut. Khalas. Alright? Because when you do things like this, it can cause a lot of problems. You go out and you start to give testimony against a person that wasn't asked from you, and then you find out later on that what? You were wrong. And then you just gave testimony out to the people and dirtied up this man's name, destroyed his reputation, and then you find out what? It was wrong. So you wait until it's asked of you. Wait until it becomes an issue where like they need your testimony, and then you give testimony in a legal setting, not just out and just giving testimony. But this is what the people do nowadays, you see. So the lying spreads, the people, selling Mr. Bean cars, and doing halaf and not even asked for the halaf, and giving testimony, not being asked for the testimony. Then he said, ألا لا يخلون رجل بامرأة إلا كان ثالثهما الشيطان. What does that mean? He said, no. He said that no man will ever be alone with a woman. Alright, alone with a woman that he's not a mahram for, except for the third of them would be what? A shaitan. And that's why, if you notice, who got the book, the free mixing book that I wrote?
I ordered that.
You didn't get it yet? You got it. If you pay attention to the cover of the free mixing book, because Sajid, he designed the cover. He wanted, like, this was Sajid. He's like, I'm designing this cover. Because normally it's another brother that designs it. But Sajid, he said, I'm designing this cover. So if you notice on the cover, there's boys, there's girls, there's a couch. And there's like boys written here and girls written here. But if you really pay close attention, there's like a little, it's written in low letters. You could pull the picture up on Amazon. And it says Shaitan in the middle. And he did that to show, like, whenever you got the men together with the women, the shaitan is always going to be between them. You know, so he did that. But you got to really pay attention to the cover, because he put, like, shaitan in real dim letters. Like, they kind of bled into, because that's how shaitan does. He kind of blends into the background, and it gets you to do things that are evil. And then as soon as you do them, he's gone. You know, leaves you now to the punishment of Allah.
That includes brothers talking to sisters on the telephone.
Yeah, staying alone with her, whatever. Giving her a ride home, sitting in the car with her, being alone. This does not mean in a bedroom. It's any form of being alone with her. And that includes getting online and being alone with her, chatting online without her father's permission or her wali's permission. That includes talking to her on the phone. That includes all of these types of things. Whenever you're alone with the girl, then obviously there's no boundaries. Who's setting the boundaries now? You're already in the disobedience of Allah. Who's setting the boundaries for you? Shaitan. You see it now?
Yeah.
Huh? You paid attention. You didn't see that before, did you? Show it to them. You all right, man? All right. The Minute Maid did you like that? All right. So he said, لا يخلون رجل بامرأة إلا كان ثالثهما الشيطان. عليكم بالجماعة. And this is where we get to this part of the hadith. And he said, it's upon you to follow the jama'ah. What did Abdullah ibn Mas'ud say? The definition of a jama'ah. What did Abdullah ibn Mas'ud? Don't look at my son.
You're looking at me? الجماعة ما وافق الحق ولو كنت واحدة.
ها؟
الجماعة ما وافق الحق ولو كنت وحدك.
الجماعة ما وافق الحق ولو كنت وحدك. All right. So it is what agrees with the truth, even if you're alone. So you are the jama'ah. That if you're following the truth and everybody's against you, you're following the jama'ah, because the jama'ah is just not you. You're following those first three generations that he mentioned: the Sahaba, ثم الذين يلونهم, ثم الذين يلونهم. All right. So those three generations, that is the jama'ah, and that's what you're following. Yeah, so that's what we do. We don't care what the people say nowadays. So he said, "Alaykum bil jama'ati wa iyyakum wal furqa," and it's upon you to stay away from and beware of al furqa, division. فإن الشيطان مع الواحد وهو من الاثنين أبعد. And shaitan is with one, but with two or more, he's what? Further away. So when you're together and you remain united on the Quran and the Sunnah, it keeps shaitan further away from us. The more that we unite together and follow the Sunnah, the more that we what? We push shaitan further and further away from us. He can't get control over us. But the more we start to divide and take each, this person takes his opinions and this person follows this opinion, and they're not following the Quran and the Sunnah, everybody's following their desires and opinions. Then shaitan is it doesn't matter. You could be 20, 30 people following this one person, but you're not following the Sunnah. Shaitan's going to be the one, shaitan's behind him, leading everybody. So he said after that, he said, Man arada buhbuhat al-jannah. So it's buhbuha. All right, how did I write this? That's the mistake. All right. Buhbuhat al-jannah is wasat al-jannah. Al-buhbuha, it means wasat al-shay, like the middle of something. So whoever wants to be like in the middle of Jannah, like the vastest part of Jannah, then what? Then let him take this advice. He said, وَمَنْ أَرَادَ بُحْبُوحَةَ الْجَنَّةِ فَلْيَلْزَمْ الْجَمَاعَةِ. Then let him stay with the jama'ah. مَنْ صَرَّتْهُ حَسَنَتُهُ وَسَاءَتْهُ سَيِّئَتُهُ فَذَلِكَ الْمُؤْمِنُ. And he said, whoever, his good deeds bring him happiness. Like he's happy when he's doing good deeds, and he's unhappy and displeased when he's doing bad deeds, then he said that is a mu'min. That is a believer. Because the opposite is the munafiq, and the people that have nifaq in their hearts, even though they might not be a full-blown munafiq, but they're pleased with their bad deeds. They think that their bad deeds are cool. So they're quick to post the bad deeds on social media. He's quick to post on Facebook how much weed he smokes, what girls he's talking to, all this type of foolishness. And this is not, you see, his bad deeds are what he gets excited about. This is what he's pleased about. His good deeds don't bring him any happiness or sadness. Why? Because they're probably not even existent. They're not even existent. And the only probably good deed that he might have to show for is to show up on Friday for the khutbah. That's it. And then for the rest of the week, he's out there posting his garbage all over Facebook. And of course, it pops up on the Masjid al-Aqaba page, and then we get to see all the weed that you're smoking, and all the girls that you're talking to, and all the stupid pictures that you're posting. So Allah musta'an. So yeah, I mean, we like what pleases a believer is him doing good deeds. When he falls into bad deeds, this causes him depression, anxiety, because this is not a good sign actually for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to leave you to your bad deeds. That's not a good sign. It's a very, very dangerous sign, in fact. All right, so hadith number 6. We'll take this because it's what's up? You're gonna call the adab, all right?
Because you want to do seeking knowledge. So.
Another narration, the Rasul said that whoever swears by Allah without being asked, take him as a liar. Is that sahih, that hadith?
I don't know about the exact wording.
To that effect. That if somebody's...
I mean, this is from the signs of the Day of Judgment. When the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Yashhadun wa la yustashhadun, wa yakhunun wa la yu'tamanun, wa yakthuru fikum as-siman." He said that the people they give the shahada without being asked for it, wa yakhunun wa la yu'tamanun, and they act treacherously, and they're not, you can't trust them at all. That everything is about the people in the last days is treacherous. And he said, وَيَكْثُرُ فِيكُمْ as-siman, like, fatness and opulence, like the people, like you see nowadays, like the people just getting, yeah, because they're just eating and eating and eating. They're not, the days of hard work and stuff is gone. All right, so hadith number 6, and we'll take this, and this will be the last one. حدثنا أبو محمد يحيى بن محمد بن صاعد قال حدثنا سعيد بن يحيى الأموي قال حدثنا أبو بكر بن عياش عن عاصم عن زر قال خطب عمر بن الخطاب رضي الله عنه بالشام فقال قام فينا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. So he said that Umar ibn al-Khattab he was given a khutbah in Sham, and he said that the Messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم stood up. He said مثل قيامي فيكم. He said just like I'm standing up with you in front of you. He said فقال من أراد بحبوحة الجنة, whoever wants the middle place in Jannah, فليلزم الجماعة, then let him stay with the jama'ah. فإن الشيطان مع واحد وهو من الاثنين أبعد. Alright, and he's with, and the shaitan is one. Oh, he took the microphone. He didn't need the microphone.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا
Because it's a wireless, it's not connecting to the speakers.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
Are we going to be seeking knowledge?
After the Isha, inshallah. So to check and see if there's any questions. So. Check and see if Asad needs to go to the bathroom. Yes, because it's going to be cutting in and out because it's not connected. It's a wireless microphone.
Striving slave says, I don't know how to figure out the urf of what the travel distance is for me.
Look, man, this is very simple. if a person can go and drive to work, like we talked about, we live in Fresno. You have Kerman, you have Vitale, you have all these different places around Fresno. These people, they drive to Fresno to work, right? And then they drive back home. So these people are not considered travelers because it's not a difficulty for them to go in and out and go back home. Once you've gone out of that, like past beyond those limits, out of that what you call like the metropolitan area, and then that's when you become a traveler. Why are you making that sound, man? Nah, he's talking about the way that it's because it kept cutting in and out.
Oh, it was cracking and popping?
Yeah.
I probably was too close to the rack or something.
Yeah, so even we were like laughing at first the way that it should.
It was cracking?
Yeah. And so he thought you were doing that on purpose.
Oh.
Why are you making that sound? Boy, you know that's the Adhan. Shut up. Few questions and we go, man.
Abu Nasaiba says, what tips and advice would you give someone trying to make the most with their parents in dutifulness, obedience, and mercy? How to preserve and adapt despite the harm?
The problem is like, ya akhi, Allah yahfadak. Go back and go through all the first 40, 50 lessons. That's all we talked about throughout the 40. The first 40 to 50 lessons was all about how to deal with the parents in the correct manner. Like the whole first part. I mean, when we finally got done with the issue of the parents, we almost wanted to have a celebration, because we finally we get on some of. But Bukhari, he did this just to show you the importance. So we dealt with all of that. All you have to do is go back and revise all of that. Everything that you need to know is all in that first, at least the first 40 to 50 lessons. It's all just talking about, birrul walidain, dutifulness to the parents and good and righteousness to the parents. So Allah musta'an. If you didn't get it there, I don't know where you're going to get it from, man. I give up. There's nothing I can say to you now that's going to give.
So how we used to stay up at night and stand over their parents with water and milk in the middle of the night to answer whatever they need, even the ones that hadn't even accepted Islam yet. So if you have a parent that's Muslim and you don't have patience and love for the people that prostrate and dhikr and fast, for the sake of Allah, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Something's wrong.
Something's very wrong. Well, I mean, because the thing about it is, too, you see that a lot of people, they don't have love for Muslims. Because they don't really love Islam. A lot of the people, they really have love for the kuffar more than they have love for the Muslims because they have love for kufr. And the thing about it is, what keeps them from doing the things that they really want to do is shyness and fear of the people. It's not fear of Allah. Fear of Allah does not keep the people up from doing, the majority of the people from doing the stuff that they want to do. It's fear of the people. So fear of Allah kept us from doing the things that we wanted to do. Allah would have raised us. We would have been raised and we'd be above everybody if it was truly fear of Allah that kept us from doing the things that we do. But see, the thing is that the people really have a hatred for Muslims because they really don't care about Islam. And they still have that love for Jahiliyyah in their hearts. So that's why you see the behavior that these people have with Muslims, even though they claim to be Muslims. It's not Islamic because they don't really, they'll be, like we talked about this before, they'll come to the masjid, sour-faced, angry-looking, he done lost his favorite cat or something like that, like his cat done died or his dog died. But then he'll turn around, walk right out the gates and see some kafir, like crackhead, or some dude smoking a blunt in the street and be all smiley face and jovial and jumping up and down about to urinate on himself out of happiness just to see this person. You know what I'm saying? But, when he comes around the Muslims, he's just like, Sour Patch Children. What type of garbage is this, akhi? It's because of the hatred. Akhi, it's hatred. It's a hatred in the person's heart. If we truly loved each other, and that goes for the parents too. How are you going to love your parents? Your parents, trying to practice the deen, they might not be knowledgeable, but but they're Muslim. They pray every day. They do the things that they're supposed to do. within the confines of the deen, and they try their best, you should love them, naturally, if you loved Islam. But if you have that hatred for Islam, you have that love for kufr, you want to listen to the music of the kuffar, you want to hang out with the kuffar, then you look at your parents like what? You look at your parents like they're Fir'aun or something, Yeah, they're enemies because they're against what you're trying to do. And your shyness from them and your fear of them is what keeps you from doing the thing. So you'll go and put on a Muslim clothing, but you don't want to do it. And you'll go and, maybe go to the masjid and pray, but you don't want to go there. It's just, you feel like you're being forced to do these things. But that's why, because it's a hatred for the deen. It's a hatred for the deen. That's why you see that the people that were born into Islam, they're the quickest to leave it. Whereas the people that come into Islam because they came into Islam for love of Islam. And then they love the brotherhood. But it's the Muslims that have that hatred of Islam in their hearts that are in the masjid, that take these converts that come into Islam and make them start to also hate the deen and chase them out the deen. Because there's no love for the deen. So the love for the deen is not being developed. Because the people themselves that are so-called Muslims don't even love the deen. So they don't want to practice it. They don't want you to get up there and remind them all the time about following the sunnah. You tell him, get up on there and say, follow the sunnah, what's he going to say? Man, why is he, keep talking about the same thing every week? This is what we hear, right? Why does he keep saying the same thing every single week? Because you're not listening. Because of the importance of this thing. But it's your hatred in your heart for the sunnah. Your hatred in the heart that you have for the deen. That's why you don't want to hear it. But a person who loves the deen, loves the sunnah, he wants to be reminded about the importance of following the sunnah. He wants to be reminded of the things that he needs to do as obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what he waits for. He waits for Friday to get that reminder, or the classes to get that reminder. But people don't have that love, and they will lie, and they take that sickness in their hearts, they bring it to the masjid, and then they just cough on people, sneeze on people, and affect everybody, not you. He's too sick to smile right now. Yeah, he's and then they just want to infect everybody with their sickness and their nifaq and their hypocrisy. And that's what happens. So that's why you take a person, how can you take a person who came into this deen? He doesn't know anything. All he wanted to do was just, Muslim, I want to be a Muslim, I want to learn about the Islam. And then a year later, look at this dude. Either one, he's back out on the streets, doing what he was doing before, to forgot why he even became Muslim in the first place, because the Muslims themselves chased him out the religion and made him feel, because, hey man, you could be a Muslim and be a kafir at the same time, and you can dress like the kuffar, and you can love the kuffar, then he goes back out and what? Back out with the kuffar. Because of this hypocrisy that the people are teaching the people. They're not teaching them Islam. They're not teaching them love for Islam. They're teaching them love for the kuffar. Go vote for the kuffar. Go, let's try to get our political power. Let's bend over for the kuffar. Nah, that's not what we're about. We don't care about these, look, man, the kuffar. They live their lives, we live our lives. And we're going to do our thing, they're going to do their thing. Their thing. We don't have to love them or hate them or care about them. But we do need to love this deen. By loving the deen, we love ourselves, we love each other, we love the brotherhood, and we help each other. Like I said, you see any small thing, small disagreement, and you see a brother, what? Not giving them salams. Try to avoid the brother, because it's the hatred, Why do you have hatred for the Muslims? Why? If we have love for Islam, and we have love for each other as far as being Muslims, then we hate that the brother falls into something. And because of that ghairah, that protectiveness that we feel for a Muslim, we want to snatch him back and bring him back to the truth and get him away from what he's fallen into. And that's because of love for the deen. But now we're quick to get out of here, go away. Stay out of here. We don't want you here. We don't want you around us. Like we're some type of blue blood clique, and it's a privilege for you to be in our midst, Nah, it's because of hatred for Islam. The people truly had love for the sunnah. This would not be their behavior. We wouldn't even have to be having this discussion right now. Allahumma staan. Go and look about the unity of Muslims. And look at the different ahadith. How many ahadith do you find? No, you don't. Because it was something that the Muslims before understood. They understood this from the Quran and the Sunnah. That this is what we're following. They did it. All this furqah that came after those 3 generations. You go and you look at the number of ahadith that you have for brotherhood. You find more a hadith about memorizing the Quran and about fasting and all the actions that you do of khair, because if we're all doing these actions together, the brotherhood's going to be there. If we're all doing this together, it's just going to, the brotherhood falls apart because people follow their desires, people follow their opinions. So Allah Musta'an. Allah Musta'an. Good. One more, two more, one more, maybe two more. We'll see. Are you still alive?
No, I'm reading the questions. There's just a lot of people going at it with one another. So.
That's the chat room.
I feel like in a PlayStation party. Is it permissible for one to repeat after the adhan and say the dua after if they hear it live but isn't present or in another time zone?
I mean, you repeat it after the adhan that you hear. I mean, I've seen brothers that used to repeat after every single adhan. And in fact, it was one brother I remember, Abdul Rahman.
If you hear it, repeat it, make it go on.
This brother used to do it all the time, Abdul Rahman. Allah yarhamu. And the brother that I mentioned before, we called him Tutu, and he hated that name. But he was the brother I told y'all about, that he went up to the sheikh, and he told the sheikh, make dua that I die in the path of Allah. And the sheikh was like, Abdul Rahman, the people, they need you. They need you. They need you to go back to America and teach them the religion. He said, Sheikh, make dua that I die in the path of Allah. And he's trying to convince him, like, no, I'll make dua that you stay alive and you seek knowledge and you go back and benefit the people. He said, no, make dua that I die in the path of Allah. So he made dua for him. And the last day of the war against the Houthis, Abdul Rahman was killed. Allah yarhamu. But when I would be walking with him, and every single adhan that he heard, he would be saying it. He would be doing Allahu Akbar, Ashhadu an la ilaha. He would be repeating after every adhan. And I told him, I was like, Abdul Rahman, Allah yahfadak. It's enough for you just to do it after one adhan. He's like, Akhi, I want to get as much ajr as I can, Yeah. Those are the people like Sadaqullah, wallah. Sadaqullah fa sadaqah. إلهنا سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت